you're not washing your wigs enough. So I just got this daily clarifying shampoo, and I put it in some warm water. Beforehand, I did prep all of my wigs by dunking them into warm water and then setting them aside, which I had a big strainer pot. I have 4 wigs synthetic. In a healthy dollop of the clarifying shampoo into some warm water, and I mixed it around so that there wouldn't be like huge clumps of shampoo in any one wig. And then I drenched, soaked, and massaged the clarifying shampoo into the wig, all of the fibers and stuff. I do want to say that all of these wigs are brand new. I've only had them for maybe 2 weeks, and I've worn them each a handful of times, and I know I've run my fingers through them several times. So I'm not really like deep cleaning them today, just because they're not actually that dirty. They're just like manufactured dirty with a little bit of oil from my hands on them. So I did go off camera and rinse all of the wigs out before this next step, which was adding some fabric softener to water and dunking them into that. I actually got this tip from another TikToker, and it was really difficult to find, but this is what was suggested to do with synthetic wigs: is warm water and fabric softener as like a conditioning rinse for the fibers. I then took them and put them on a towel and rolled them up to get as much of the moisture out of the fibers as possible before I ended up moving on to the next step. And as you see, I try to spread some of these hairs out, and on this one I ended up doing a trifold because the towel is a little bit smaller. But there they are, all rolled up. When they had been sitting in the towels for about an hour, I decided to pull them out. They're still a little damp, but they're not dripping at all. Most of the moisture is actually in the wig cap itself. And I decided to go brush them through to get all the tangles out and get all the knots, like the parts of the fibers that are knotted together. And this was definitely a process, but once the tangles were taken out, they did not retangle very easily. So, which I was having a huge problem with when I first took them out of the package, which was they would tangle every 5 seconds. That was one of the reasons why I was motivated to try the fabric softener on them, because it's supposed to help reduce the amount of tangles that I end up coming across with these synthetic fibers. Some of these tangles were actually like knots at the bottom of the fibers, so I would break some of them off. I try not to do that with as many as possible, most of the time coming from the bottom, or I'll start at the top and push some of the tangles down and then come up from the bottom and pull the tangles out each cross section at a time. It's kind of what I do with my normal hair anyway. I just want to be as gentle as possible with these wigs, because although they weren't very expensive, I still don't want to lose a lot of fibers in the process of brushing them out and keeping them tidy. But you see here, I'm just pushing down all of the cross sections of hairs, and then I go from the bottom and start working my way up the fibers to get the knots out, one layer of knotting at a time, until I get to the top, and then I go to the other side and do the same thing. Another thing that does help is putting it on a surface like the table, like the towel, or you see here on my stomach, and using that as a base for your comb instead of trying to shove the comb through fibers mid-air and not getting any kind of, and like having the fibers move away from the comb while you're pushing on them. Holding them against something firm keeps them in place so that you're combing the same fibers every time you comb them instead of just pushing them away. At the end of this video, it'll show a clip of how I have these organized. I put them on the back of a chair because I don't have wig stands. And then I set up a fan, and I have some indirect air blowing on them to help them continue their drying process throughout the rest of today. If you made it this far in the video, like and subscribe or follow me for more makeup and wig tips. I actually think this would be really good content for the YouTubes, and I kind of plan on going on there too. So if you want to look me up on YouTube, it's Bone Mama. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed my wig washing tutorial, and drop a comment. Tell me which one of your wigs is your favorite. Okay, bye!